Good morning. Welcome to Our Town at Comma Coffee. I'm Kurt Caraway. This morning we're going to be talking with Ian Mindling, who's running for Carson City Assessor. Right now we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsor.
The Carson Mall has exciting shopping. All this and more at the Carson Mall.
And we're back talking with Ian Mindling. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
All right. And you have thrown your hat into the ring to run for Carson City Assessor?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about where you...
Well, I'm a Nevada native. I was born in Reno and lived there for many years. Moved to Carson Valley, just over the county line here for last few years of middle school, and did my first 2 years of high school at Douglas High School. Moved to Lassen High for my last 2 years of high school so I could get California residency and go to I was aiming for Berkeley, ended up going to UC Santa Cruz. Did a couple of years at UC Santa Cruz and ended up working for the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, or this company that runs the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, as their safety and training specialist. Focused on safety procedures, emergency action plan, training of the company, everyone from a ride operator to a parking lot attendant. Help my manager train people in supervision and management, and was the company computer support for the whole company. So I have a lot of experience in computers and math and safety and management and training.
Okay.
Moved back here about 10 years ago. I've been working for Carson City real estate agents since then.
Okay. And what do you do for that? What for Carson City real estate agents?
Applying my computer skills and presentation skills, marketing properties, creating virtual tours for properties, aiding agents in whatever way we can. In the current market, with a lot of foreclosures and bank-owned properties, the processes have changed since the last time agents went through this kind of market. It used to be phones and fax machines, and now everything is through the computer. The agents never talk to their asset managers, so I'm really a key help in helping my agents work with asset managers and banks, providing what they need and helping sell foreclosures.
Yeah, so you have a background with real estate in this area, which... 10
years of working with Carson City real estate agents,
And so
I've got a fairly good familiarity with properties and values and the things that agents look at for creating market values for people and listing properties.
Okay. Well, what got you interested to run for this position?
You know, I had never actually really thought of it until a couple days before the filing period ended, and a friend suggested it. And my first reaction was, no, I wouldn't do that kind of thing. But as I thought about it, my combination of an intense math experience, I took 6 years of math in the 4 years of high school, my passion for computers, and my real estate experience kind of created a good blend of experience. It seems like it would be a really good fit for the job, a really good match for the position. Yeah. And from what I've heard, from what people have told me, we really need a new person in the office.
Well, I mean, I know that the laws governing the assessment of properties in Nevada are very difficult compared to other places. So it takes a...
they're very complex, and I'm going to be using some of my experience from working in the safety industry in California to understand laws and legislation. California is one of the most highest legislative or regulated states as far as safety. We had something like 50,000 new regulations every year that we had to comply with, and so I'm fairly good at comprehending and following laws. I have a good logical mind, and so I'm fairly confident I'll be good at that.
Okay, we're going to take a short break right now and come right back after a word from our sponsor.
Excellent.
Never before have 2 words said so much. I am is what motivates us every day.
I am grateful.
I am is what drives us to treat each patient like family.
I am blessed.
And I am is what you can depend on when you need it most.
I am a survivor.
I heal.
I care.
I am Carson Tahoe.
And we're back talking with Ian Mindling. Now, what is it that you would like to do if you become Carson City Assessor? What's the the focus you want to?
Three main things I'm going to address that I've talked to a lot of people, taxpayers, veterans. I've had some of the cream of the crop as far as people past and present who are really intimately knowledgeable about the job, and I've got a lot of input. And three main things I really want to address is the first one is accounting for foreclosure sales when assessing property. My understanding and what I've been told is that we're the only county in the state that doesn't include accounting for foreclosed properties when valuing property for tax purposes. And that just seems wrong to me. I've dealt a lot with foreclosures with my real estate agents, and when an agent lists a property and tells the client what they think the price should be, the list price should be, they're including those foreclosed sales that just happened up the street or down the street. And so I think that's an important thing to do. Another thing I want to address is personal property appraisal. From what I've learned, personal property appraisal for about the last 8 years has been pretty much done from a desk in the office. I think it's a difficult and touchy subject from both sides, from both the appraiser and the people who have personal property. And I think it can make people want to avoid addressing it. But doing it from a desk in an office and imagining property and creating property is not the way to go. If people need to get out there and interact more with our taxpayers, then that's the way to go. And it should not just be imagined from a desk in an office. And the third point that I'm going to address is what I've been told is that prior assessors have been much more accommodating and will work with taxpayers, and currently a lot of people are just being forced to go to the Board of Equalization to find their remediation of some sort. And going through that whole bureaucratic process just may some of the time be what's required, but I think a lot of the times that if you just listen to people and talk to people and work with people, that accommodation or something can be done that's a lot simpler and doesn't cost people the trial and error or the problems of going through the Board of Equalization. So I intend to be a lot more accommodating for people and listen to people and listen to the taxpayers. The taxpayers are really who I consider to be my boss. I will be the taxpayer's employee. And whether it's a smile on the phone when I answer the phone or being more accommodating, those are all the things that I intend to address and help out our taxpayers.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the first point just a minute, including foreclosures in the assessment.
Yeah.
Now, how would that affect people's taxes? I mean, how would that affect the valuations of houses?
Well, what's happening is the foreclosures are selling for a lot less than the other properties on a street. And so if they're not included and you're just looking at the non-foreclosure sales, then the tax values could be higher.
Okay.
And if you include those foreclosure sales, it's more realistic to the current market situations and the current economy that we're in.
Okay. And that they're not, and we're about the only county that's not doing that, I guess?
As far as I understand, we're the only county that has two tiers, one for foreclosure sales and one for everything else. And that just seems wrong to me. There's something about there's supposed to be an arm's length transaction, and from everything I can see, foreclosures are an arm's length transaction. Banks aren't being forced to sell their foreclosures. They could hold on to them if they wanted, and they're trying to sell them at full market value. They're doing the repairs and improvements to the properties to sell them.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in to Our Town. We'll catch you next time.
The Carson Mall has fantastic food,